Before we start, I just want to say thanks to all those who watched the Elusive Samurai video, because I recorded that over a month ago and just only had time to edit it and publish it. So yeah, thank you for anyone who's watching this video that has watched that video, and hopefully you stick around to watch my other videos that I have coming up. So yeah, before continuing with incredible anime from the summer season, I want to talk about an anime that was actually released in the spring season and had 2 cores, so it aired all the way through to the summer season. And it's an anime that when it first released was much maligned for its pretty much awful animation. But if you can look past that, there's a gem there. Let's talk about the Fable. Now, before I continue with this video, if you like anime and movie reviews, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel. Now, back to the video. So The Fable was released during the spring anime season of this year. It had 2 cores and it aired all the way through summer. And yeah, when it initially released, there was a lot of backlash when it came to its animation. I'll talk about that a bit later, but first let's go over the story for The Fable. Now, the story follows the titular character, The Fable, who is this legendary assassin who is a living legend who is known for completing his jobs without leaving behind any witnesses, and most of the time tends to complete the job. So whoever is a target for assassination tends to not really be alive when he's on the job. So after his latest job, maybe there's some heat on him and his assistant, chauffeur, information person, and basically the boss of his organization sends both of them away to Osaka with the task of living a normal life for 1 year. That means no killing. So The Fable, now going by the alias of Akira Sato, and his assistant, who basically acts as his sister, going by the name of Yoko Sato, moved to Osaka, and with the help of a local Yakuza group known as the Meguro Group, they get housing, and so it begins their 1 year of living as normal people, as normal as a life as possible. So that's where the intrigue for this series comes from, because things from their past and people who have heard of the legendary Fable, and also just regular people testing them consistently so that they have to use their experience and their skills in order to solve situations without resorting to murder. So Akira uses his assassination skills in order to pretend that he's a wimp so that he can live this normal life, so that he can succeed in this mission that's been given to him. And he manages to get a job, he manages to get along with his colleagues, and at the same time, problems start to crop up. So because they're getting help from this Yakuza group, the captain of the Yakuza group is just like really suspicious of who this guy is and decides to test him. And then on top of that, other problems that are occurring throughout Osaka basically mean that Akira and Yoko have to get involved. So this means that it isn't just a slice of life anime exploring their daily life as they try to blend into normal society, but more of how they can use the skills that they have to solve the problems, especially those that involve Yakuza groups and other assassins, without blowing their cover and without killing anyone. Now, from the way I've been talking about the series, I feel like it comes across as more of an action-packed drama, but actually this is a comedy, and it is probably the best comedy of the year, because there are just so many moments throughout the season that make you laugh uncontrollably because it's incredibly hilarious, or at least it puts a smile on your face, and it is just incredibly entertaining seeing these two people adapt to normal life. And the majority of the comedy comes basically from Akira, who is someone who is not used to actually living as a normal person. So for example, when he's applying for a job, when they ask him what things he likes, he writes the name of his favorite comedian, which is Jackal Tomioka, and this gets a laugh from everyone else because it's not normal to just write your favorite comedians' names in things that you like when people are interviewing you for a job. So that, coupled with Akira's sort of deadpan delivery, is hilarious because you know that he actually is taking this situation seriously and he's not trying to make a fool of anyone or make fun of anyone. And that's just how he sees the world. And on top of that, you have Yoko, who is just a monster because her conquests of men, which involve her basically getting men blackout drunk till they embarrass themselves, in front of her for her entertainment is some of the most hilarious segments in this show. Also, the supporting cast contributes to the comedy, especially the lower ranked Yakuza guys, because they don't know how in deep they are, because you have one guy who just doesn't know what Akira and Yoko are, and he thinks they're just regular people being housed by the Yakuza. And then you have another guy who's a little bit higher ranked that he knows that Akira is an assassin and he wants to be an assassin, but he really doesn't have the build for it. Now, even though this is mainly a comedy, it's still about an assassin adapting to everyday life, and that brings with it some action, and well, the action is there. That's all I can say. Besides action, the story also has a lot of heart put into it, because we get to see Akira's background, we get sort of glimpses into Yoko's background, we get glimpses and looks into the backgrounds of the supporting characters and characters that come in and affect the story. So that's it about the plot and the structure of the show itself. Now let's just talk about the elephant in the room, which is the animation. And safe to say, the animation for the Fable is god-awful. The animation is handled by Tezuka Productions, and by God is it not good. This basically looks like a PowerPoint presentation. Blue Lock currently is getting a lot of hate for its animation, but trust me, the Fable looks much worse, because at least Blue Lock has the colors and the shading. This thing doesn't. The Fable doesn't. Tezuka Productions handled this and Under Ninja, which are considered two sort of cult classic manga, and their adaptations have been nothing short of awful. Like, even when I'm trying to talk about this anime having action in it, the action is not well animated. It's actually very stiff, very wooden, I guess, and it's not really a highlight of this anime. So why am I talking about it? Why didn't I just drop the series immediately? Well, that's because the story and the characters and the comedy kept me coming back week on week to watch this anime. Because when coming back from a tough day at work, being able to unwind with a genuinely funny comedy with a captivating plot as well, that is something that I treasure. So yes, while the animation for the Fable lets it down, and by God, Tezuka Productions is an embarrassment to the person that it is named after, this is still a show that manages to keep my attention and bring me back every week. And I feel like it's a little bit of an underrated gem, you know, a hidden gem, because a lot of people will get turned off by the animation, not give it a chance, and miss out on a genuinely good show. The comedy and the timing of the comedy is incredible. The story is quite intriguing and it brings you back week on week, and the characters are hilarious. I give the Fable a 7 out of 10. So, have any of you actually watched the Fable? Because it's been on Disney Plus, in Disney Plus jail, and the full season is now available on Disney Plus. So if you have, please let me know what you think in the comments below, and if you plan to, please do watch and come back and let me know what you think about this anime, because I think this is probably the funniest comedy anime of the year. Anyway, that's it from me, and I'll see you in the next video.